So, hello guys. So, today I want to talk about when the empath gets angry. Don't leave the kingdom, okay? So, narcissists use our empathy, our compassion, everything to get next to us, okay? To get us angry, to get us mad, okay? And they use compassion, our compassion against us, because when we use our compassion, it quenches our discernment, okay? So you have to operate in a spirit of discernment, okay? So that you know who the narcissists are and what they are trying to do to you, okay? So if you can control your emotions, you are winning, okay? So remember that your reactions feed the narcissist. It feeds them, it gives them supply, and that's good or bad emotions, okay? So some people never figure this out, but because unfortunately they are too broken and at the time too overly emotional to be able to see the impacts of how their emotions are affecting them, okay? And that's not their fault. It's just something that we have to learn to heal from, okay? So just think of it in terms of a kingdom, right? When you live inside the kingdom, you don't allow the feelings of the people outside of the kingdom in, okay? So the people outside of in the gates, they cannot control you. They cannot touch you, okay? So you don't have to be ruled by your emotions. You don't have to be ruled by your feelings, okay, when you're in the kingdom, okay? You don't have to be ruled by society or what TV. None of that has to get a reaction out of you because you're safe inside the kingdom, okay? So what the devil does, he sends a narcissist in there, okay, to take you outside of your kingdom, to take you outside of yourself. And he uses your emotions to bait you in. All right. So when you live inside the kingdom, you just observe. You're just observing what's going on. OK. And that's the same way with your feelings. You can feel your feelings, but you don't have to react to your feelings. You observe them, you feel them, and then you let them pass. Okay, you don't have to let them infect you and affect you and let them get stuck inside, okay? You feel it when somebody says something to you, you check it. Is this something that I'm in agreement with? No. Oh, let me allow this to pass. And that can go in one ear and right out the other, okay? So you feel, but you don't always have to react, all right? So outside, you understand that most of what people do and what people say is not a reflection of you. That is when you know you have reached a level of healing, a level of spiritual maturity, when you can say, when someone tries to really piss you off, for lack of a better word, they try to piss you off and make you angry, and you're like, you don't internalize it. You don't feel shame about it. You don't feel anything about it. And you may be hurt. That's okay. You can allow yourself to be hurt or whatever. Allow yourself to feel without judgment. But you don't allow what's going on the outside of the kingdom to infect or to affect what's going on, okay? Because you are a temple. Your body is a temple. Your body is Christ's temple. If you are believing, you have asked Christ to come into your life, okay? So you don't have to let what goes on outside the kingdom infect what's going on inside the kingdom. You observe it and you allow it to pass through. And it's the same thing with the narcissist. When they throw those temper tantrums, and you're gonna run into, even if you got out of a relationship with the narcissist, you will run into people, okay? And when a narcissist, or if you're still in a narcissistic relationship, you will see a narcissist going to have a temper tantrum, okay? So it's like looking at a child inside of a playpen, okay? You just observe. You can get in the playpen with the child, or you can just sit back and allow them, to finish having their temper tantrum. But you don't get in there with them, okay? Unless it's your child. Now your child is different. You sometimes you do that with your children too, especially when they're little. You just let them have their temper tantrum. Most of the time they'll just get on up. All right. And it's the same concept with the narcissist. You don't get in there with them. They love that. They are waiting on that. They are betting on you to come inside of their playpen, okay? Inside their pig pen. So, and it's just like, I love boxing. Same thing. It's like WWE, okay? Your opponent wants you to come into the ring, into his territory. So how do you win? You win by not getting in the ring with the narcissist, okay? What do? You tag God in. You let God know, God, I need your help. All right. I need you in this moment. I need you in this hour. I need you in my life. And you tag your partner in, you tag God in, and you give it to him. Okay. If you're hurting from a narcissistic relationship, you give God all that pain. All right. You give God all that anger. You give God everything, that sadness, everything that you are feeling. You give it to him because you cannot handle this alone. And you need an awesome tag team partner who has never lost a match. Okay. God has never lost a match. All right. So you tag the best tag team partner that you can imagine. The great I am, you tag him into your ring, with your opponent, and you allow him to pummel your opponent. Okay. So, and unfortunately, overly emotional people do, they get in the ring and they get smacked, okay? Because narcissists are pigs. And what does the Bible say? Do not cast your pearls to swine. You are much too precious, daughter. You are much too precious, son, okay? So that's why they have to devalue you. This is why they have to berate you. This is why they have to belittle you. This is why they have to gaslight you and project, okay? And this is why they have to call you names, because they already know. They already know you're here and they're there. And I don't mean that in a sense like you feel like you're better than someone, but with the narcissist, they already know mentally, spiritually, physically, whatever it is, that they are beneath you. So anybody that tries to bring you down, anybody that tries to belittle you, you already know what time it is. They feel some kind of way. Again, that's not about you. That is about them. You just observe that, okay? So that's why they have to bring you down, all right? And then if you're too emotional and then you unleash your rage and then it's like, oh, got him. Oh, the narcissist loves that now, okay? And I'm going to tell you a little story. I remember one time me and my sociopathic ex-husband, right? We were at, I think we were renting a car. I forgot. I don't know if this is when I got into an accident or whatever, but beside the point. But we were renting a vehicle and he was just antagonizing the young lady behind the counter. And I'm just looking at him like, if you've been in a relationship, you have to make excuses. You make excuses. Oh, stop. But you really want to say stop, like your child in the playpen, okay? But we're out in public, so I'm, the classy person that I am, like, come on now, like, let's chill. And then we got in the car, we got into an argument about it, right? And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And he's going off because I'm, he could tell the way I was feeling, and got into it. He's driving, right? And so we're going at, and I just remember being so angry. And when the empath gets angry, watch out, okay? Because that supernova thing, that's a real thing, all right? But we have to be careful with that. And I remember the relationship had been physical up to this point. It had been off and on, and that was something that I had never been exposed to. But at that time, I remember just being scared. And then I hauled off and smacked him. And I was like, oh my goodness, I felt so bad. But and I'm bracing myself like, oh my goodness, like we're gonna wreck, like I'm about to get it. You know what I mean? And in that moment, you know what he did? He was like, If anybody knows, if you've been with a narcissist, you know that narc smirk. And it was just like, got him. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So now I'm like, I'm so sorry. I've never done that before, and he's just like, oh. And I'm just like, you're not going to fight me back. You're not going to, and he's like, I forgive you. Oh, that narc smirk. But what I did not realize is that he was going to take that moment and always use that against me. Okay. Now he had done all kind of things. Fighting me, hitting me, doing all kind of things. But he was going to use that one incident, got her. Because he was able to take me outside of myself, out of something that I normally would not do, and use that against me. He was able to use my emotions to his advantage. And that's why you have to get out of the ring with narcissists, okay? This is why you can't be near people who try to take you outside of yourself purposely, okay? Because that is why God instructs us to get away from angry people, to get away from abusive people, because you will end up in situations that you should not be in because you won't let this person go. And we've seen people that are in prison, women and men, had God told them to get away from somebody and they did not. Okay, so you will end up paying for that. And I knew in that moment that if I kept on like this, one of us was going to be in jail and one of us was going to be dead. Okay. So, and no narcissist, especially no person, is worth your life. So when somebody takes you outside of yourself and you get angry and you go outside of your kingdom, know that there's a price to pay for that. But sometimes you are going to have to stand strong and defend yourself. Okay. I'm not saying roll over and let a narcissist just have his way with you. You have to know how to defend yourself, but just know that you have to stay inside of the kingdom. Okay. So don't allow a narc to take you outside of yourself, because they feel horrible about themselves. They feel horrible inside. So they are always looking for ways to unleash that hate on an unsuspecting victim, okay? And you go out into the world and people are mean. We see this all the time. You'll see a Karen or a Ken and they're baiting people in. They're trying to get you outside of yourself, outside of your kingdom, so you can address them. And so they can release the hate that they feel about themselves, because people who love themselves don't walk around, people who have false sense of security and are insecure. That is the things that they do. They walk around trying to exert their power and trying to rule over people in a false manner. Okay. And that is what narcissists do. So they need someone to unleash that anger out. Okay. And you're the lucky winner if you don't stay inside of your kingdom. Okay. So what do? We give it to God. We tag God in, and we don't get outside of the kingdom. All right. You stay centered in who God says that you are. You know who God says you are. And he says that you are a king. You are a queen. You are a member of the kingdom of heaven. Okay. So you don't step out of your chariot to address peasants. Okay. And narcissists are peasants of the worst kind. All right. They are pigs. And you do not cast your pearls to swine. All right. So guys, you have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Break those chains. Stay grounded in the kingdom. You are much too precious.